What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button down below, and if you're old, you know what's up. Welcome back, sis. It's so good to see you. So in this video today we are doing a makeup purge. Yes, it's time to do some spring cleaning. Well, it's like late early summer cleaning. Purge that makeup, okay? Y'all don't need them 3 palettes sitting on your dresser. All right, you got another one that you know you like more. So let's get into this purge. All right ladies, so we are at the point in our lives we're getting sophisticated. We're wearing baccarat, we're wearing Tom Ford, you know, we're doing all the things to make ourselves, you know, presentable women. You know, we're growing up, and yes, we can still play in makeup, but there's just some things your girl has grown out of, okay? And I'm gonna tell you guys what they are and why I grew out of them, because they still really are great palettes. They're just not my vibe anymore, if you know what I mean. So let's get started. So this palette was actually one of my favorite palettes. It is the Modern Renaissance palette. And you can tell old girl was used quite a bit, and I love this palette because it gave you the pinks, it gave you the browns, it gave you some shimmers over here, and I really love this palette. But it's time for it to go because, like, number one, it's been a few years, and number two, the shadows, they just aren't doing it for me anymore. And I feel like I have great Juvia's Place palettes that can deliver to me what this gives to me, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need a million palettes to do the same thing. So sorry sis, but Modern Renaissance has to go. Up next is from Anastasia again. This was a very controversial Subculture palette. Now this palette was used, but it wasn't at the same time, because like, girl, it was, oop, the little brush fell out. Girl, it was so powdery. Like, it was so powdery. The fallout was crazy, but I'm telling y'all, these greens are top tier though. That's the only reason I kept this palette, was because that green was top tier in pigment. But yeah, it's time for sis to go, because ain't that much fallout in the world is gonna make me keep a palette. Like, at this point, I haven't even touched these in like the better half of a year. I'm not hoarding makeup anymore. That's just, it's doing a lot and I'm not with it. Now for another makeup palette that I haven't touched in a year. Like, I literally only use this thing when it comes to like Halloween looks, because you get that really vibrant and bright color. It is the Take Me Back to Brazil palette, and this one is actually pretty used and abused. Like, girl, we got whole pans missing. And I really love this palette from BH Cosmetics because it was so bright and festive. This was one of the first palettes that I bought that everybody loved, everybody raved about. It was super trendy, and I really like the palette. But like, there is also other palettes like Juvia's Place that also pack a better pigment, and it's just like, there's nothing wrong with this. It's just like, you kind of graduate. You start out with BH to, you know, figure out what you like and do looks that you like, and then you graduate to palettes like the James Charles palette or Juvia's Place palette, because they just pack more of that bam pigment that you're looking for. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that palette. Next is actually this Anastasia Beverly Hills. Girl, Anastasia she just gotta go, period. It's a contour cream kit, and I never really liked this palette because, like, the tones were just too cool. Like, all of the tones were just too cool for me, and they always made me look ashy. Like, I tried to make it work with this brown right here in the middle, but like, they just never worked out for me. And the other colors, like, this one's entirely too cool. This whole top row was useless to me. I tried it with this one, and I did like a few swirls in these two, and it just wasn't working for me. So sis, gotta go. And I won't be donating any of these palettes because, one, they're like well used, like used, and like, there's like, no one would want like you overly used makeup, sis. Like, it'd be different if it was something like this NYX birthday palette. See, this birthday palette, I got this for my birthday from Ulta. It's only been used like a few times. Like, it still looks pretty much brand new, but I don't need it because it's not anything spectacular, but it could definitely be of use to someone else. So I will be donating this, but everything else, like, this stuff is beyond uses, okay? And then next is this BH Cosmetics Modern Max 28 color eyeshadow palette. This one has to go simply because I had 2 of these, and I'm pretty sure I already threw away the other one because it was a mess. But this one is also a great beginner palette, but it's just not my vibe anymore. Like, it doesn't really have any of that bam pigment that I'm looking for in a palette now. And you, like I said, you only need a few palettes to do the same job, all right? Next is a very, very controversial Jaclyn Hill palette. This was her original palette by Morphe that she came out with, and everybody was like on the trend, loved this palette, was like so eager to try out this palette and all of her other palettes. I've been out of the beauty community for so long, I don't even know what's going on with old girl, but every time she launched something, it was super controversial. So that's why I kind of stepped away from the scene, because it was just getting so messy in the beauty community. Like I couldn't even, I just couldn't even, like. But I did really love this palette, especially the black, because the black was very pigmented. I will give her that. This is a great overall starter palette because all of the colors, like, they don't pack a punch, but they do what they need to do, if that makes sense. Like, you can make so many looks off of this palette. I would definitely recommend this palette. Like, if you just can't afford nothing else, you only have like, what, I think it's $38. You got $38, or if you got $40, buy this palette and it will definitely last you for many, many looks until you can get you something else, girl. But let's move on to the other smaller things that I'm purging from my collection, just because I don't want to feel like a hoarder and hoard tons of makeup. So I put everything in a bag because it's a bunch of small stuff. But up first, I thought I was done with palettes, but I mean, they're not really palette. Well, they are palettes. They're a bronzer palette and a blush palette from e.l.f. So these can be donatable because I really only used this one out of the bronzer palette, and the other shades were just pretty much useless to me. And then this blush palette, I only used this blush, but I found a blush that I really like better. So that's why this one is also donatable, because it is hardly used. But those are, ooh, sorry, those are great starter palettes. If you need bronzer and blush, that's why I got them. But once you graduate to things that you really like there's no need to have multiples in the house. Now, next is highlighter, sis. I was really going through it with the highlighters. Hold on. Like, girl. So I have this one from MAC that is like this, hold on, it's like a two-tone peachy golden looking highlighter, and this was like one of the first highlighters I ever got because I was like, oh my god, I love it on my sister, it looks amazing. But like, it's like that Fenty it's like the Fenty what is it, Trophy Wife. It's almost like a yellowy golden, you see that? And it just does not work for me because it just doesn't look good on me. But on a darker skinned woman, yes, that would be A1 for you. Next is the Master Chrome. Everybody was so hyping these up, like, oh my god, it's the next best highlighter, it's just like you gotta have it in your collection, like for the low price, it's such a bomb highlighter. Like, girl, y'all lying. Let me swatch this one. Like, it was not all that. Like, okay, so the formula is like pretty soft actually, but it's just like a really golden highlighter. So this is next to the MAC one. So this one is the Maybelline. Ooh. And then this is the MAC one. So this one is definitely like a lighter finish, but this one's more golden. But the formula is very nice on this one, but it's just not like giving the girls what the girls need to be gave. And the next one is this e.l.f. one I just picked up at Target. Girl, I don't even think I used this one. That is what's sad. Like, I think I swatched it like one time. Like, hold on. You can literally see, there we go. You can literally see that none of the pigment is missing. So I'm pretty sure I just like, oh yeah, it's definitely too white to be going on my skin. So that one is gotta go. Next we have foundations. Girl, I hoard foundations like nobody's business because I'm like, oh, maybe I'll get darker in the summer and I can be able to use it again, and then it just never happens. So I have this Estee Lauder double wear foundation in the color bronze that was just like too orange. Like, I tried it multiple times and it was just too orange for me. Like, it never did what I needed like to do. It was just too orange. And like, no matter like what I use with it, like concealers, powders, it just never worked for me. So I literally, like, it's like, I think I still have like half the bottle left. I will use it on looks that, you know, just require foundation as a base just because. But then next I have this Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Long Wear Foundation in the color 385. This one I'm getting rid of simply because it's just too dark for me. Like, it's just too dark and it makes me look orange. Like, I look like You know them little Oompa Loompas off of Charlie and Chocolate Factory? That's what I look like when I wear this. So it's just too dark. I try to make it work like for the longest, but it's just too dark. Like I can't make it work anymore, sis. It's not gonna work for you, okay? And then next is a MAC, once again, on a chopping block with the Studio Fix SPF 15 Broad Spectrum formula in NC45. This was always just too orange. Like, I don't know what it was, but I just could never get it to work for me. Like, it was just too orange. So I would use it under looks, Halloween looks, if I needed a base. But it's just too orange, girl. I gotta go. Next, again, with the MAC, is this MAC Medium Deep Setting Powder. It's a mineralized foundation. I just don't like it. It has like a really, really red undertone. And it just was not doing it for me. Like, it's just not doing it. Ooh, girl, come on now. It's in medium deep, but it was really red. Like, every time I put it on down here to like supplement my foundation, it was just too red, entirely too red. And then I have a bunch of like these LA Pro concealers, and they were either too light or they had like a red undertone, and I really just could not make it work. And like, girl, I don't even know why I bought so many, but I just could not make it work. It's like pure beige, medium beige, almond. Like, it's just not working for you, girl. And I feel like with my fine lines under my eyes, like I need a good concealer, and I cannot risk like it creasing up on me. I mean, maybe I could keep these for like eyeshadows, but at the same time, like, girl, I just maybe I'll keep one of the pure beiges for my eyeshadows, but the rest gotta go, okay? And then I have like these random NYX lipsticks. This one is, girl, I don't even know what that is. The label was so faded. Another faded label one. Like, I had a bunch of liquid lippies that just needed to go. Like, I'm never gonna wear these. They've been sitting in my makeup thing, like just chilling. Literally never gonna wear them. I feel like once you get a certain age, like, you just don't wear things if it's not like, you know, cute on you. And then I have a bunch of NYX liners. Like, they still work, but it's like you gotta do too much work for them, like, to make them work. And I just like, girl, when you find something that works for you, just use what works for you. And then I had this e.l.f. very used clear brow and lash mascara. I used this up because at the time this was like the only brow wax or brow product that I had to keep my eyebrows up. But yeah, it's definitely time to retire that. And then it's time to retire this e.l.f. makeup mist. This like would just do something to my makeup and make it like splotchy, and it was just not cute. And then I did have this Benefit, what is this, Sweetness Golden Pink Blush. It's a golden pink blush, and there's nothing wrong with this blush, but like I said, I have something else that I like better, so there's no need for me to have this one anymore. Just trying to declutter. And then I have this e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and this was good when I just wanted to like, obviously I used it, but like it was good for like if the makeup didn't need to sit all day. But like now I just don't like mixing makeup, so I'm gonna need it to sit all day, period. If you know what I mean. And then I have the Maybelline Eye Studio. This stuff just smudges so bad, I just cannot with it. Like, it just smudges too bad for me. Like, if I was going like this, it would be like all down here, and like, girl, nobody's doing a raccoon look anymore. It's just not working. And then this is the ABH Dip Brow Pomade in dark brown. Now this I used up. Ooh, it's extra crusty now. I used it up because like it cost a pretty penny, but it definitely was not my shade, and I'm so glad like I got me a new one that actually, you know, works for me. So yeah, I got like this like loose shadow from L'Oreal Infallible collection. It's like almost falling out of the pot actually, so let me just put that back in there. Like, girl, it's time to move on. It's time to elevate. It's time to elevate your collection. I'm not saying none of these products can't work for you, but they just do not work for you, girl, anymore, okay? And it's time to purge. I love cleaning out my beauty station and making room for new products. I'm definitely not into the hoarding products and having like, you know, so many products around me, because that just like, it's pointless. You never use all the makeup, and that's just wasting money. Like, unless you're like a big YouTuber, that's just wasting money. And like, I mean, if you're into that, do that, but I'm not into that. So yeah, I'm only purging these products because I've had them for years, so I had the intent of using them, but now I actually found things that I like, so they gotta go. Sorry, but not sorry. Okay. All right, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. I love talking to you guys, and subscribe if you're new. I would love to have you guys come back and watch another video. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.